Alright guys, good morning. This is another FSD 12.6.3 video. I'll enable FSD now. This is going to be a bunch of fairly simple driving, I think. I mean, you can even see it on the map here. We're basically doing a straight line. And then it's going to be a similar drive home. Sorry, something was vibrating in the back there. So it may just be a bunch of fast forwarding. This video may not even exist. I just always like to record in case something interesting does happen along the drive. So hopefully there is something noteworthy. Otherwise, yeah. And I actually just got a message back from Tesla service because I messaged them. I'll pop my chat history up right now, but basically my car, I dropped it off Friday. I think I dropped off Friday morning, first thing, like 8 a.m. or whatever. And you can see in the Tesla app, you can see your car's location. And so right after I dropped the car off, I could see that the car was no longer actually in service. We're good to go. It's hesitating. There's not a single car in this world around. Okay, that was too bad. But yeah, I could see on the map, and again, I'll put it up on the screen, that the car was in the parking lot and not being worked on in service. So I kind of was following that for the last couple days. So it's now Monday morning. I dropped off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, three days ago. I think I'm doing that math right. And the car's been parked in the parking lot, not doing anything for any of that time. So yesterday afternoon, I messaged them saying hey, what's going on? And then they got back to me. I appreciate it in some ways. They're just hey, for full transparency, we're super backlogged. So they're readily admitting to the fact that they haven't done anything. Which, like I said, I definitely appreciate the transparency. I just also wish that, okay, we should go. They should stop taking appointments. If they're 3 days behind, they need to stop taking appointments for a few days to catch back up. Because, I don't know, it's not really, assuming my car is just in there for a hardware swap for the computer, from what I've been reading online and what other people are telling me, it's a half-day thing, 4 or 5 hours of work. So for my car to be gone for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, my car's gone for 6 days for something that takes 4 hours. It's kind of crazy. It's crazy for them because they're giving me a loaner car for 6 days. It's crazy for me because I'm out my car for 6 days. Whereas if they just pushed it all back, it's an avoidable problem, I think. Again, I'm not trying to harp on them too much. Tesla service is honestly really good. The fact that I can message them in the app and get responses, the fact that I could schedule it all through the app, at the end of the day, despite its shortcomings, I have had nothing but good interactions with Tesla service. But just something to mention, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated as it goes. So yeah, that's the latest update on my car. It's still sitting there. It hasn't moved, and hopefully they'll look at it before Wednesday.
With our buddy at his house over in the West Village.
Interesting. So I was just plugging in a podcast, but I wouldn't say that was a strike, right? So this car, full transparency, and you probably could even rewind and see in the videos, when I got it, it had 3 strikes. Yeah, so it still has 3 strikes, but not me. That was what was here. So whatever just happened there, front camera blocked or blinded. Clean camera or wait for it to regain visibility. Yeah, so that's the error that I just got right now, is that this front camera is blocked or blinded. So let's actually pull over and take a look and see what that is. Because, I mean, this seems fine. It seems crazy to me that it's calling this blinded, so we'll see. Hold on. Okay. So I will quickly look at the cameras. So under, I believe it's service, camera visibility. So it's saying no camera visibility issues detected, but right here it says front camera blocked or blinded, so that's kind of funny. Okay, so camera preview. Oh, interesting. Maybe that's why I was getting all the attention monitoring issues. This is blocking this so much more than it does in my car. Like in my car, you don't see this at all. Interesting. But, I mean, I kind of have to have it here to use it. Okay, so, oh wow. Yeah, that is definitely blinded. So is that... Crazy. Okay, so that's very... I wonder if that's inside the glass, if that's that fog. I will I'll cut to a shot with my phone, because I'll look at it right now. Okay, so let's see. This... Oh yeah, you can see kind of... Can you? Yeah, it's definitely got a fog over top of it that I can't do anything about. Interesting. Okay, well, that is unfortunate because that's under the glass. I can't do anything about that. So I will be driving manually until that clears itself up. I assume that's partially to do with the window fogging up underneath, sort of. I wonder if I put on... no, this one. So I'm just going to put on defrost on high for a little bit here and hope that that cleans the condensation from underneath. I don't know if there's a button I can be hitting to enable, like, these cameras I think have like heaters. But, I mean, it's a little bit chilly outside. It's 9 degrees. So there's going to be some like temperature differentiation between like the hot camera and the cold thing, but that's too bad. Okay, and it looks like I actually have it back, so I'll enable it.
And so
I'm driving on this road, which is the same road that on my previous video a few back on with my other car. I was just saying a road like this is where full self-driving unsupervised I feel like could exist because it's so dead simple. You're going not super fast. There's not a lot of complexity. So to me, this is where I could see full self-driving unsupervised working and being unlocked for the first time. You're not going highway speeds, but there isn't a lot of like merging and turning and complexity. There's just one car on the road basically following another car. And I believe that in the fact that I think it'd be a good candidate for the first wave of unsupervised full self-driving. But given what like just happened, where through no fault of my own, the camera got condensation, whatever, we should be slowing down. It's harsh braking. So I'm driving down the road and all of a sudden immediately take over, the camera can't see, warning message. That's the type of thing that makes me think full self-driving unsupervised is going to be really hard for Tesla to do because, and I don't know what full self-driving unsupervised means. Does that mean you have to be awake in the car, but you can play on your phone? So you're basically like ready to take over within 2 to 3 seconds. Is that going to be the deal? Or can I sleep in full self-driving unsupervised? Because just imagine that I was commuting to work, the car's driving for me, full self-driving unsupervised, I have my eyes closed, and then that camera gets blocked by condensation, which is something I can't really do anything about. It's a single point of failure. Like there is 2 cameras, but like if that one camera gets blocked, that's it. So that single point of failure that has nothing, no way to like alert me before it happens. I'm asleep, the car gets blinded, and then, I don't know, like that becomes a huge issue if the car with no real warning shuts itself down. That's where I think, like, if you look at the Waymo and anybody else that's doing full self-driving or autonomous driving, there's a ton of redundancy. Like, I would almost bet that there are multiple forward-facing cameras on the Waymo that if one gets blinded, the other one could maintain and be the primary candidate for, like, how the car is driving. Having single points of failure on a system that is supposed to autonomously drive you around seems like it won't work, but I don't know. That's just my little thoughts there. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm wrong to be so pessimistic about it, but I mean, it's been a very simple drive, but overall version 12 is doing a good job. A couple like harsh brakes that I've noted, but for the most part, lane centering, speed, everything is really, really good. This is admittedly an easy drive, but for a lot of people, like those super complex, navigating around this area, most people, that's not their drive. Like, for the most part, if your city is set up well, your A to B is going to be a lot of straight driving with a couple turns. And that's the big thing to keep in mind is, for most people, this is a regular commute, and if the car can do it, that's massive. Kids are red. We should go. I would just go. Perfect. That was a good job. We stopped at that red and then immediately started creeping and then just committed straight through it. So good job. Yeah, like when I first started posting FSD videos, people would always fault me for posting easy drives and say like, oh, that's so simple. Of course, full self-driving can do it. But like I said, for me at least, I need to go out of my way to find a challenging route for FSD, because it is just so much of the, like, you're on a highway and then you hop off and you take one exit and you go here. Like, it is very easy driving, and maybe that's a BC thing. I don't know. Maybe in the area where I live, our roads are more simple, but I don't know. FSD works great here. It was a huge bottle that we just avoided. For those of you that watch my channel, has anyone gotten to test drive the new Model Y? Because I see that, especially in the States, there's quite a few locations that now have demo units, and I'd just be curious what people think of it. I am still waiting anxiously for our dealership to get a second one. I know that in BC, there's a second one now in North Vancouver. So we have two here in BC, but just at different locations. And once one location has two, then they'll do demo drives. It's kind of my understanding. We should go. Nice. From all the reviews that I've heard, though, from people that are doing the demo drives, it's a great vehicle. Kind of refines everything that was wrong with the existing Model Y. As well as adds stuff that we've talked about it with the front bumper camera, things like that. Overall, it looks and seems like a great vehicle. Okay, so I would say this was primarily an incredibly uneventful drive. It'll just be all fast forwarding. At the end of the day, though, version 12 just drove me A to B, intervention free, basically flawlessly, which is great. It's amazing. FSD is so good. Like, the fact that I need to work hard to find reasons to have excuses for this. I have to struggle to find problems with FSD. I mean, that said, that corner was bad. The brake, a couple harsh brakes that it did weren't great, and the fact that the cameras were occluded. But overall, I mean, the car just drove me, which is amazing. Okay, I'm gonna end here and cut for the next part of my drive, so I'll see you in a second. All right, so I'm finished there. I'm heading home now. Just gonna make a stop at McDonald's. Surprise, surprise. So, see how the car does. I had to back us up quite a bit because version 12 cannot do reverse, but okay, good job here. And so we got a left turn across a pretty busy street. So I would creep a whole bunch after this. Okay. And I would go right after this guy. Perfect. Nice job.
Go over.
Okay, so we got a red light. I would obviously wait for this car, creep up. And then I would just go. Okay, nice job. It was a little bit slow getting down to 0 there at the light, but honestly, overall, that was great.
And then we have some funding programs within the Xbox team itself.
Okay, so we're getting around this car, but then we have to go. Wow, that was very good / aggressive. I think the car saw this closed lane, but wanted to get around that person. They were driving kind of. You saw them wandering in the lane, driving slow. So we went around them, and as soon as we did, we signaled to come back. So great job there. For those of you that own a Tesla, that listen to podcasts, is there a way to see what new podcasts I have to listen to? Because I always I have 2 pages of podcasts. And as far as I can tell, there's no, I have to click on this to see if there's anything new. And then I have to go back. And then I have to scroll, and then I have to click on Dignation and see if there's anything new, and then go back. And then each time I go back, I'm at the bottom of the page, click on this, oh, there's a new episode, but I don't want to listen to it, I go back, I'm at the top of the page. I thought your episodes might do it, but this isn't chronologically new episodes. Is there a way to see that any of you know about? If you do know how, let me know in the comments, because I find this UI honestly annoying to navigate through when looking for new podcasts. So I saw that there was a post on X, and someone said that in the latest version of FSD 12.6.4 and I assume 13.2.8, Tesla patched an issue which I didn't even know existed, where you could put your face or somebody's face up on the phone, and then you hold the phone or mount the phone right here, so all the camera sees is a human face. And then if you buckle the seat in, you could theoretically sit in the passenger seat, or you could sleep, because as far as the car was concerned, the seatbelt was buckled. We should slow down. Oh, nice job. Okay, that was really good to slow down for that wide turning semi. The only thing I would say is we should now go forward. So I'm going to press the accelerator. Yeah, it's just crazy what people do to overcome the safety measures in these cars. You should just be sitting in your car supervising, but people, found a way that you could literally sit in the passenger seat and the car would drive for you. Okay, so we'll see what it does here to pull into McDonald's. I would go straight and turn right Not a huge deal. Okay, and as long as we turn left here, it's crazy. Like, okay, well, this is wrong the way we're doing this, so not great. Yeah, like I felt version 12, but it's been really, really good. Like this whole drive has felt super comfortable. We're on the wrong side of the road in this parking lot. I'll take over. So yeah, V12, really impressive. I'm just gonna grab a coffee and I'll see you guys in 2 seconds. Okay, I'm through the drive-through here, so let's see how the car gets out. Nice job. Okay, I would wait, and then I would go right after this van. It's waiting. It's waiting a long time. Okay, there we go. I'm curious if, because there was like a truck coming, but there was a light that turned yellow and then red, so I knew that the vehicle wasn't gonna, like it was slowing down for it, but it was definitely like gonna stop for that red light. I wonder if FSD like picks up on those cues where if a light is changing, you know the vehicle's gonna stop, so you're free to turn, or is it just gonna wait irregardless of the light until that vehicle basically fully stops? Okay, I would. Perfect. Signal's over. Nice job. Really good job here. Right turn signal on. That was flawless. That was exactly what I would have done. Handled perfectly. Nice job. Wow. Well, then put up a speed. Yeah, then put up a speed limit. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm an asshole. I just went through a construction zone, I guess. There was no like slow down, no. Normally if there's construction, there's speed limits that go up, 30 or 50 or whatever. The speed limit here was 60, the car was going 65. And as we're coming up to that girl, she like wasn't even holding her sign up. And then as we get close, she like waves it kind of frantically at us. So I put on the brake and slowed down the car, and she's kind of pointing at it as though like, you're an idiot, you should have slowed down. You need to put up more signs if you're a construction company and you're doing that. Like, you need to have slow down signs, you need to have new speed limit signs, because I then pointed up ahead, I'm like, there's a 60 speed limit sign, I'm going the speed limit effectively. Yeah. I'm all for like driving safe and cautiously, but if she's standing off to the side of the road with her sign by her hip, I'm not just going to randomly slow down for no reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm an asshole. Okay, so this though is something where we are going too fast, I will agree. So I'm going to scroll down to 30. Okay, the car's speeding in school zone. I really wish that Tesla would, and I said it in my last video, prioritize things like this. Like, look, it's possible. Like, we're going 30 and a 30. So the car is plenty capable of adhering to a speed limit. For school zones and stuff, like, you gotta do that, Tesla. It's really bad because A, it's just always a disengagement or intervention for me, depending on the situation. And then just, like I said, in the last time I talked about it, the optics of speeding through a school zone in an autonomous car or a Tesla using FSD, like, it looks terrible. And to me, I don't know. Obviously, it's more complicated. But I feel like there's no excuse for them to have not fixed this yet. The ambulances and emergency vehicles, I understand that that's a little bit more complicated because you're relying on sirens and things like that. There's more to it. There's more to pulling over for an ambulance than, in my opinion, slowing down for a school zone. So I really hope 13.4, assuming that's the version that gets the new model and new context size, I hope that that version brings a lot of changes like that. Like, it's fine. It took me a second. I slowed down to intervene, whatever, but and again, like I talk about it, we're trapped in a 30 zone. Like, the car thinks we're in a 30 zone still because we went into a school zone, and then I saw the sign that said end school zone, so I scrolled it back up, but the car doesn't understand it. So it's just, they really should focus on both the speeding in school zones and then the speed control after a school zone. That's version 12 and version 13 both. Okay, so I would go. Okay, two-way stop. We should come to a full stop, wait for this vehicle, and then go. Perfect. Oh, nice. No, I wouldn't still. Okay. Now I would go. Perfect. That was good. That's very human-like, which in my mind is kind of funny because, like, I was watching right, the car went by, and I was like, hey, we should go. And then I looked left, and I was like, oh, there's a car. We shouldn't go. And it's almost exactly the same behavior that the car took, where it dealt with the car that was clearly close and coming, waited until it passed, started to go, and then it's almost like it looked left and was like, oh, there's a car there, I should stop. Which is strange to me, because I would think a computer that's seeing in all directions at all times would have also saw that other car and just never moved once and waited for it to pass before ever beginning to go. I don't know. Okay, so coming up to a red light here, full stop and go. I assume it'll be no problem. Probably actually just turn green while we're here. So I would go. Perfect. While I'm drinking my coffee, I just want to again shout out and thank channel, I guess, supporters, Tom, Jesper, and Commander Dash. You three, as I said in my last video, are incredibly generous. Thank you so much for your donations. Coffee is thanks to you guys. So appreciate it. It's, again, as I've always said, not lost to me how generous it is of you folks to donate money to me. You don't have to, but it means a lot. Helps with the channel. And yeah, there may even be a day where, I mean, and I've talked about it, something that I really want to do is, the car slammed on the brakes, is get HDMI out for my car. To do that, like, I've looked into it. I'm talking with the guy who actually does the modifications, and he is his very first Highland Model 3 he's doing right now. Like, he's in the middle of doing it. So it's a very new thing, and he's, like, I don't think many people have it for the new refresh 3s. But the all-in cost for me is about $2,000. That's because you have to buy on eBay. You buy one of these screens, and then you send it to him. He does the whole modification and then sends it back to you, and then I would have to install it, which seems actually fairly straightforward, for as daunting as it may seem to replace this screen. I wouldn't go. Okay, I'm pressing the accelerator. We hesitated there with that roundabout. We went in too far, but then that truck was coming and we started to slow down. But at that point we were too committed. Like, the car needed to finish what it was doing. So it probably shouldn't have got into the roundabout at all, or if it was going to, it needed to just go. And that weird awkward pause that it did ended up making it way worse for us. So I intervened with the accelerator press there. Sorry, what I was saying is though, for the cost of about $2,000 to me, I would get to swap this screen out and it would make the visuals like 100 times better for you guys to watch. Like, it wouldn't be a shaky version of the screen that's being recorded off a GoPro. It would be like perfect, and I could do similar to what AI Driver and Dirty Tesla does for visuals. So, I mean, I'm almost certainly going to do that anyways, but I may start like, I don't know what the best way to do it is, like a GoFundMe or something. Just, again, like, not that you guys need to bear the full cost of it, but just something to offset the cost to me would be kind of helpful. Because again, this is all just out of pocket, and in my free time that I like. This channel and everything I do is just genuinely because it seems like you guys are enjoying it. Am I spending a bunch of time and effort to make these videos? So yeah, I don't know, like, I feel bad. And if I do set up a GoFundMe or whatever it is that I do set up, nobody needs to donate to it. But if you did, that would be incredibly helpful, and ultimately would be just a benefit to everyone else that watches the channel. So we'll see. Also, let me know, like, in the comments if you think that that would be... This is a good job, by the way. We're waiting for these pedestrians, and I would go probably right now. Perfect. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you think that that's unreasonable, or if it seems too, like, I don't know. I don't ever want to be too salesy on this channel, right? Like, I appreciate the donations, I appreciate the support, I appreciate everything you guys do, but I don't ever want to feel like I'm trying to take advantage of all of your generosity. So yeah, with that said, that's kind of the end of the drive. This might be a super boring video because it was a super easy drive. Version 12 did a good job. I mean, it drove us, well, it's hard. It did a great job in the fact of like 98% of the drive was perfect. We had the critical hardware failure, disengagement, whatever you want to call it, where the little bit of fog caused this camera to not work. So that sucked on the way there. And on the way home, things like the roundabout and a couple other things, those are big issues, but I also have faith that they'll get fixed. I don't know. It was good. It was overall a really good job. I stand very firm in my opinion that version 12 is notably less impressive than version 13. Like, version 13 doesn't struggle with roundabouts. It doesn't have the weird breaks, and overall is just that like level up. So yeah, really good. Like, great job, Tesla, on FSD version 12.6.3. But yeah, I will see you all in the next one. I hope that I have my car back, because I feel like I'm done testing version 12 at this point. Like, it's good, it's fine, it's nothing spectacular. So take care, see you all in the next one. Cheers. GoPro, stop recording.